What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another highly requested AI only game. This was an Oceania game. We have Southeast Asia in the map as well to make it even more exciting. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I believe there's 21 civs, standard speed, deity, difficulty. Just go over all the things. Where's the mods? Just go through the mods. There is some mods. Here you go. If you want to sort of pause them, pause, have a look over. And yeah, hopefully if you have any more questions about those, that's fine, but we'll go over the civs. There's some huge empty spaces on this map, so every civ has lots of space. There's some areas a bit more congested, particularly Southeast Asia. That region looks very small on the mini-map, and there's probably the most civs there, or not most civs, but most per space. But I've given every civ on the map access to compass, so I believe the shallow water is at least available, which means everyone, I'm just checking the map, I believe everyone can get to everyone apart from New Zealand. They're a bit, or it's Maori in this case. The New Zealand were the only civ not to spawn in, who was supposed to, but there we go, the Maori are here anyway. I'll probably find them somewhere in the middle of the Pacific, but never mind. I looked over to make sure they weren't there, I'm pretty sure. The Maori, yeah, they'll be on their own for a bit, but everyone else has access. In fact, that seems unfair. Let's give it to them right now while we're here. And then I'll go over the other civs, although you're sort of getting a first look here. Where are they? Maori? Nope, not Muri. They're not on here. Oh, there they are. Okay. Yeah, so as you see, this is what I gave everyone. Sailing, optics, compass. I will give astronomy to the Maori as well, which will give them caravels. It will take some time till they can build them, but you know, that might speed up their meeting of everyone else. But here we go. We'll go over the map. So we've got Burma, Shan States, Laos, Vietnam, Khmer, and again, this is the most full area. Hopefully they sort of move off and explore other areas. Singapore and Aceh hopefully will work this time. They both spawned in these locations and weren't moved, so that maybe will play into their advantage. Indonesia further down this way. We have Brunei up here, again, very open island. Hopefully the Indonesias of the world quickly come over and put some pressure on them. We have in the Philippines up here, we have Igorot. So I'm probably going to get a lot of these pronunciations wrong. And they have a load of empty islands as well that are available for anyone. Over here we have two civs as well in Papua New Guinea. We have Wagi and Moto. I think it says Motuan, but the civ was called Moto. So those two are here. And now Australia is the one area where the TSL has got a little bit questionable. I've moved some of them because there's actually, I've got the map of where all the TSL civs are. And obviously there might be some that aren't on there. But Western Australia was very barren, beyond like the halfway point. So I've sort of stretched the truth a little bit with the spawns. But we have Yolngu, which I think that is a correct one. Banuba is another one that was correct, to be fair. The Muri, they spawned in the east. I've moved them out here to fill the map a bit more. Further down, the Kulin, pretty similar. They all sort of spawned where Australia spawned as well, so I moved them over to give us some competition in the west. We have Anangu, and we're going to have to call them West Anangu, because I put in two Anangus. We also have an East Anangu. So, I thought, you know what, we needed some more civs in the middle. It's fine. So we got West and East, that works. Or we can have purple and this is kind of brown-orange. Whatever we want to go with. But they're both Anangu. They're the same mod. It's just picked. I've obviously put them in twice by accident when picking the civs out of the list. But, you know what, we needed one more. It's fine. Ngarrindjeri down here, Australia, and that's New South Wales. I moved them up a little bit. I think that is it. So there's a lot of space here as well. And then there was not, so when I opened the map, there was not loads of luxuries, but I put abundant on, so it seems like there's a lot more. And then I just added like 100 sort of extra ones, just different ones, like 5 of each, just put them down in random spots. And then yeah, the Maori in northern New Zealand, and that is it. That's like 20 civs or so. I'm gonna put it on auto end turn for sort of the first 20 turns as usual. Let them get up and running. I didn't test it because we're feeling risky today. And it spoils it a bit for me, but you know, it's fine. But yeah, hopefully we can go a bit further in this game than the recent one, the last one, because there's less civs. There's also it's a huge map, but there's a lot of sea tiles, so hopefully it will run a bit further. But everyone's going to put down their second cities early on, so we'll just let them do that. I'm excited. There's a lot of new mods. Brunei here, that's quite exciting. Also very rare we see pink as sort of the base colour, so that's kind of cool. Pretty rare. There's lots of sort of reddy, purpley, burgundy, brown colours. And some greens, but not many. Very rare on this map anyway. Very rare you get like a bright pink. I guess Singapore's sort of a different shade of pink too, actually. Come on, Aceh. This is what I've been waiting for. There it is. We didn't get it all of last game. They immediately plopped down their settler this time. That's good. Hopefully all the civs are, some of the ones that got moved may bug out a bit. That's obviously, it happens. Kulin do seem to be moving though. Maori kind of moving, but they're limited. None of these guys have set. This is concerning. Do stuff. Hopefully they will do stuff. These guys have done some stuff. That's good. These guys not doing so much, but their settler is having a little look in the water. They are moving around. I can see their warriors moving, so that's okay. Oh, it's so annoying. Like, I have to move the civs because it's a double-edged sword, right? People will moan at me for breaking them, but if I didn't move them, I would have had to have killed them. Like, it's not. There's no. There's no balance here. So, and then people would have moaned and said you've not got enough civs. So I can't really win. So we have to accept that some of the civs may make a slower start. Hopefully it's okay. Hopefully they'll all get going eventually, even if they don't move that second settler right off the bat. It's not a disaster. Again, I think some of the civs did well last time. Maybe not winning, but certainly did okay despite a slow start. Australia's already got 3 cities, so they're certainly up for it. As New South Wales also do. I think the ones that struggle, I feel like it might be pre-programmed where they want to put that second settler, and if you move them over islands and stuff, they just freak out because that spot's no longer like even feasible. I don't know if that's maybe what causes the issue, but like the Kulin have built another settler, so they just didn't use the initial one. But here we go, we're 25 turns in. I'm going to turn this off now, and then I can go over some of the starts. So yeah, the Kulin, I mean, they're in the corner, they don't really need to rush. Muri have grabbed a couple of cities. They are in the desert, so probably do need to make a quick start. A lot of copper there. 3 cities already for Banuba here, and going for a 4th, and then a lovely sort of dark reddish colour. What do we got up here? Yongu. I'm going to try and learn all their names. By the end we will. Yongu is here. Most of these places I hadn't heard of 45 minutes ago, so, you know. New South Wales going for 5 cities already. Oh my goodness. Australia with 3, 4. There's obviously a lot of resources to trigger this kind of settling. 3, and the Ngarrindjeri have got a settler in the coast as well. Maori a bit slower, but they do have their settler in the water. It wouldn't have spawned there, and they are now exploring the south. So yeah, I think it might actually be resource related. Although here's a good spot, so I don't know. Up here we've got 2 cities for Waggy and a 3rd one on the way. We've also got 2 for, I'm learning, Moto, and they have a settler here. This area is all empty. Brunei's got a 3rd settler up and running already. Indonesia's not moved. This shows it's not me, because Indonesia spawned there and I didn't touch them. So this is an Indonesia problem, not a me problem. They are notoriously probably the worst civ at this point. I think they can have that title. Even Polynesia. Like, Polynesia does good, there's just not really space for them in any. They don't fit a TSL game, ever, where they can do well, but that's just bad. Either way, Aceh is going for 3, that's good, and it looks like they're going to cut off Singapore already, so that's brutal. Up here, not so good, but Laos is moving, and Burma has already made a quick start, which will hopefully prompt the others into action. And these guys have also not made many moves, but again, very isolated, not in a rush, or as much of a rush. I think they'll all come to life within the next 22 turns or so, so it's not a huge problem. I mean, it's not my fault. I'm just going to say it. I've not done anything. I just moved, teleported their units. I'm getting some more cities. I'm seeing those 3rd ones going down. Laos moved west with theirs, which might cut Burma. Maybe, but I think Burma was thinking about coming out this way. Maybe forces them, and that may just put the Shan into motion as well, which is good. Not sure why Vietnam is exploring with a worker, but interesting choice. Who else have we got? We got a 5th city there for these, 4th city for these guys, I should say. 4 now for Australia. They do blend in with the forest a little bit. It's hard to see it, as New South Wales has 5 in 31 turns. Oh my goodness. Right, the Maori did make their move to southern New Zealand, so that's good. And we get the Great Library. And who is this? Is that you guys? That is you guys, okay. That is Igorot with the Great Library. So there you go, one city. Focus their production on the Great Library. That will give them a good science advantage. And of course, we're going to see a lot of Indonesian and the island civs with a lot of science if they keep the jungle and don't chop it all down later in the game. That's something the Australian civs, who will probably be a lot bigger, might not get advantage of. So these guys might get a bit of a tech advantage, whereas here it's mostly desert and forest, so you won't get that in the same way. Are either of you guys doing anything? Not really. Okay, well, great. Thanks. Australia completes the Temple of Artemis. Aceh, 3 cities so far. I'm already kind of rooting for them. I'm not going to make my pick till the end because it could go so wrong. But after the last game, I was excited for them last game. I wanted to pick them, and I didn't. And yeah, they didn't do anything because they didn't move. If they were moving from the start, I feel like I would have picked them. So hopefully they can do well here. Indonesia's got 2 pretty large cities already, 10 and 8, which is good. They're also pretty isolated, even though they're near Aceh. They've got all this space for later in the game. Brunei, no new settlers. Of course, finding out they're pretty isolated. They can put units in the water if they choose. I'm sure they'll get there. That's New South Wales completing the Stonehenge. So that's probably going to be them getting one of the early religions. Who is this? The Maori are actually pushing into Australia. That's what we wanted. And now Shan and Vietnam and Burma adding more cities. So it's just the Khmer who we're waiting on. And I really regret adding the Khmer because last time we had a whole debate for like 20 episodes about how to pronounce it. We're just going to stick with Khmer. Every different suggestion I got was different than the last one, which didn't help. It wasn't like a load of people telling me this is how you say it and one answer. There was like 10 different answers. What have we got here? Who is this? That's one of these guys? Oh, it is. Okay, that is Waggy with their 4th city. And then we get a temple mausoleum for Australia, with another settler on the way, as well as the Maori. And we have our first religion, which is the Anangu, over this way. Which one was it? This one, with Protestantism. Oh my goodness. 7 cities already for Banuba. Oh, sorry about that little cut. We're back. No worries. It's just feeling a bit off, and then just stopped and it went away, and we're back. It's really weird. Sharp pain, but it's over. If there's no episode 2, you know us. I've just gone. But there we go. We're here. I see some settlers for Laos as well. And hit turn 47. Oh, some of you will be excited to know. I didn't mention, but we have info addicts back, and already, who the heck is this? I'm guessing that these are the civs with religions, right? That would normally answer that. Is that? Well, no, probably not. But never mind. Maybe good pantheons at the very least. Yeah, everyone is pretty aggressively settling. The Khmer may be the only one who's not. Their settler did just move, even if they've not picked somewhere. These guys haven't either, but they're spamming wonders. They now have the Great Library and the Colossus. Not exactly sure what they're going to do with that free cargo ship. I don't think it can reach Brunei just yet. That's pretty impressive if it could. But yeah, it's good to see some of the civs crossing the water very early on. Can already see a trade route here between Singapore and Aceh, which is good. Indonesia's finally moving. So again, it's not a disaster if they put both these settlers down. They're right back in it. Pyramids now for these guys too. Wait, what? That took them 2 turns. Okay, that's worrying, but maybe it was 4 turns at most. Brunei founded their own religion with Islam, so there we go. I say their own every time, as if it's, Islam is obviously used every time, but it's not exactly their own, but their own in this mini universe. Moto still with their 3. I'm guessing they're going to be forced east, and we'll see maybe these guys go west a bit more. Waggy with another city. Right, what's going on in Australia? We've not looked here for a while now. Yolngu with their 3 cities. These guys look hyper aggressive. Banuba here with 7 cities. The Murray with 5. Kulin with 2. So they're finally going. Maybe they'll move this settler too. There's a lot of units already all over the place. I think these guys might be doomed. Just Just looking at this comparison, they might be in trouble. Maybe we'll be back down to one Anangu pretty quickly. They do have 2 other settlers around. Oh, the other Anangu settler over here. Not sure about that, guys. Come on. Bit closer to home, please. Big army here for... Sorry. This is the hardest one to pronounce, I think. I have to read every time. Not pronounce, but, you know, there's a lot of letters in there. Ngarrindjeri. And then we have the Aussie. Oh, just called Aussie. Australia with their more cities now. I mean, fair play to the Maori. They've come over. Or if it's Maori, I apologise. I think it's Maori, but again, let me know. New South Wales, still with their 5, so they're aggressive starters and then slowed down a bit. And the Maori now, or Maori, have 4 in New Zealand, as well as a city in Australia. And they grabbed themselves the Great Lighthouse, which, I mean, they're already in the deep ocean, so they definitely made use of that ability. Oh yeah, of course, because their normal units can go in there as well. I didn't think of that. I thought they'd need caravels, but no, they can just explore. They could have gone the wrong way. You know, they could have gone up here and found like nothing. So there's still some smartness to it. As Moto here grabs the terracotta army, and our first war, Ngurunderi. Oh, okay, so the Civ's got a different name. This is the... What is the word? The describer word. I don't know. Ngurunderi versus Australia. We'll keep an eye on that. I mean, yeah, these guys have got a huge army, so this could definitely go in their favour, but we have seen some AIs in recent games really struggle to fight in forests in early games. Oh, I'm putting a city down right next to those Australian troops as well. Is going to make things and make life extra difficult for them. So yeah, Brisbane could be under attack here. The Igorot have not yet done anything, but we've seen them spamming out some wonders very quickly, so I don't want to count them out. They could end up with like a super city here. And there you go, Indonesia is making some moves around their island. They can cross over, you know, you could just go over here. Oh, Australia, talk about timing. The Great Wall, just when it looked like they could be in some early trouble, that will slow down their invaders. That's really good, well timed, and that should again help Australia just defend themselves, slow their enemy's movement. Really good move, and we did get some cities here from both Anangus. But yeah, I mean, these guys, yeah, there you go, it's coming. There it is, perfect timing. We called it. We arrived just in time. This city's going to drop within probably a turn or so. Not particularly bright future ahead, I would say. Brunei's now got a 4th city, I'll sweat, covering this island in bright pink. Vietnam have got another settler. The Khmer, yeah, they're not having the best day, but everyone else has got things up and running, so there's definitely going to be some fights up here pretty soon, I would say. Already trade between the Khmer and Singapore as well. The Murray settled all the way down here next to the Kulin. Okay, fair enough. Snap peace deal already. Yeah, that did not seem like a big surprise. Australia did defend themselves pretty well, but there it is. The Anangu, Western Anangu, lose their capital. Yes, now we've just got regular Anangu, and then I'm sure this will probably fall pretty soon to someone else. But there we go. Never mind. It was short-lived having 2 of the same Civ. I think New Zealand may have put another city down. Yep, up here. Or Maori. I keep thinking it's New Zealand because it's still black and white colour scheme, but it is. It's the Maori. But they are looking pretty good right now. Very. Compared to the Civ up, the Igorot up in the Philippines, who are kind of on their own and doing, well, building wonders, but not settling. Whereas New Zealand, Maori, dang it, making the most of all the space. But here we go, we'll do the map review. Everyone, it's pick time. We do have some religions. 2 of them by the Anangu, so they might not last too long. Brunei's is doing okay, and the Khmer with the other one. But here you go, there is, I was going to say Bengal, but this is Burma. The Shan states, Laos now with 4 cities as well. Vietnam with 3, the Khmer with 1, although it is the biggest. 3 now for Singapore. 3 for Aceh. 4 for Brunei. 1 for Igorot. I'm looking at Indonesia with 2. There's a lot of boats doing exploring now, which is exciting. We have Waggy with 5, if you're including that one. I'm not going to include it. Moto with a settler over there, as well as 3 cities on the east side of New Guinea as well. Going down to Australia, this Anangu with 1 city, and then the other one with 3. You can just specify if you want, if you're feeling brave. If you just put the Anangu, I feel like that's a brave enough pick already. Yolngu, here we have Bunuba, who have already got 8 cities now, looking very good. The Muri up to 6 and 7 if we include this one. Kulin with 3. The Nagurindri, I've forgotten what they had a different name as a civ. Nagurinderi, they had, that's his name, but I think that was the civ name too when they declared war. But it might have been him I don't know at this point. They have 5 cities. Australia's got 5 again. And the Great Wall. The Maori with 6, if you include that one. And then New South Wales also with 5. So there you go. Make your picks. I am going to go and... I wanted to pick Aceh, but I'm going to pick Brunei. I like the look of them. And I said I like the colour scheme. It's pink, yellow. It's very vibrant. Easy pick there. So I'm going to pick Brunei. I think Bunuba will probably be a good choice if you're going for that win. They look very strong early on, but they're in the desert, so got to manage that. But there's plenty of civs. The Muri, very good. These guys have all started pretty well. Like, relative to each other, they're pretty equal, but compared to the rest of the world, they've started well. Sneaky pick. These guys seem to be making the most of the advantages I gave them. Waggy looks pretty good as well. I might need to see a little bit more out of Moto before I can recommend them. And I mean, up here, there's certainly... Here's difficult. I think any of them could do well, but you have to pick the right one. You know, it's a pretty good chance one of them will be very strong by the end. But which one? Could it be Lao? I mean, they have the most cities right now, so maybe that's the easiest way to pick it. And there's, of course, some sleeper civs who could definitely play a big role. Igorot here in particular comes to mind. I'm thinking of that. Someone like Aceh as well. If they really start to get going, you know, and make the most of a lot of the free islands that are still out here. But that'll be it for this episode. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.